Hi Eva, welcome to our virtual lesson today. I'm obviously not holding a Loog guitar like you have. I'm using my electric bass because it's the most similar instrument I have as my electric guitar is out of commission right now. So first we're going to start, I hope you have your instrument on you for this lesson, but we're going to start by setting up our instrument. We went over it a little bit in our in-person lesson, but I'm just going to start from scratch today just to make sure we got all our bases covered. So first, we're going to have our guitar, our strap around our shoulder, right? So to put it on, bring it over your head, and then over one shoulder, and then it goes around your back there. Then once our guitar is on, or like on our, like once we're able to hold it, right? We go to our amp, and we should have a little 1/4-inch cable here. Looks about like that. And it fits into that tiny little slot on your guitar where there's a little 1/4-inch hole. So first you're going to plug the cable in and make sure that your amp is off, right? So that's on, that's off. Usually there's a light, pretty sure yours has one, but it'll definitely tell you if it's off, right? So we start off, we plug in our 1/4-inch cable to our guitar, then we come around to our amp and we plug in the other side to the input hole. It says input and it's another 1/4-inch hole. So once you've found that, if your amp says low or high input, choose the high input because it's a guitar. Okay, so then we're going to turn our amp on carefully and make sure that our cord isn't coiled up and that we're not stepping on it, or that it's not in a place where we can step on it, because that will make a very, very loud noise that is just not fun to hear for anybody. If it does happen, obviously it's a mistake and it's okay. Everybody makes mistakes, but we just want to take care of our cord so that it lasts a long time and doesn't cause you any like sound issues later on, because they're very fragile on the inside. So then once we've got everything plugged in, amp to the wall, guitar to the amp, we're going to turn the amp on and turn the volume all the way down, as far down as the volume will go here. And try not to mess with any of the other knobs. Make sure they're either just like on the middle setting if possible. And I like to turn my low end down just because it's a bass and I don't want to hurt my amp, but you probably shouldn't have to worry about that. We're just going to turn the volume up just a tiny bit and we're going to tune our strings. So my bass right now, these top 3 strings are tuned exactly to your Loog guitar. So this one here is going to be basically the bottom string. I'm never going to play this lowest one on my bass because you don't have that one. So we're going to start from here. And this is your lowest note. And that's a G. So play G. And if it's not in tune, your dad can definitely help you tune it if he's available. Or perhaps you have a tuner around and you just turn the peg downwards if it's too high, and you turn it upwards if it's too low, until you find the desired note. For me, I'm looking for G, and so I'll show you my tuner here while I'm doing it. Let me see if that helps. So watch. If you can see the tuner here. Whoops. Here we go. There's our tuner, ready? So G is our lowest string. That's too low. And there we go. Found the green. And then we're going to go up to the next string and we go to B. So the next higher string is the middle one on your guitar and it's B. Mine's a little low. I'm going to bring it down so you hear what too low is. See how that's too low? And then we're going to bring it up slowly to B. And that's how yours should sound. B. Although yours is going to be much higher. And then the final string is E. So the E string is the very top one, the highest string. I'm going to bring it down so you hear what that sounds like. This is about D right here. and I'm going to bring it up to E. Do you hear the pitch rising as I turn the peg? And we're at E. Awesome. So in this lesson today, I'm going to have you bring out your chord chart that I gave you last week. It should look something like this. We've got stars over the chords that we're working on. You might have a few different stars than I have, but we'll go over some of these chords in our lesson today, okay? Awesome. So if you don't have this, I am going to put a link to the PDF for it in the email that I send your parents so that they have it. So if you lost it or don't have it for whatever reason, they'll have a copy that they can print out or pull up on a smartphone or tablet for you, okay? So that is an option. And now let's work on this. There's a new technique that I want you to learn on the bass today, and it's called a scale. So I'm gonna pull the camera out this way so you can see my dog. It's a wider angle here. Nice. Okay, so this scale here is going to start on our lowest string. What note is that? G, right? So your lowest string is G. It's going to be that note. So that's the start of our scale. G, and let's play it 4 times. So G, 2, 3, 4, and then take your first finger on your left hand, put your thumb on the back of the neck of your guitar, and then put your first finger on that lowest string on the 2nd fret. So not first fret, but the 2nd fret. See where I'm at? Not the 1st, but the 2nd fret on the lowest string. So that is A. So we go from G, 2, 3, 4, first finger, 2nd fret, A, 2, 3, 4. Let's try that again. G, 2, 3, 4, and first finger A on the G string, 2, 3, 4. And now the next note in this pattern, this scale, is our next open string. What note is that? B. So we have G, A, and then open string B. Do you hear it? Awesome. So G, A, B. And we're going to do each one 4 times. That B is just an open string here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We have G, 2, 3, 4, and A, 2, 3, 4. Next is open B, 2, 3, 4. What's next? This one's a little different from our first one. We're going to take our first finger, and now instead of putting it on our 2nd fret on that string, we're going to put it on the 1st fret. So we're at open B, B, 2, 3, 4. That's your middle string. And then you're going to take your first finger and put it on the 1st fret of the B string. C, 2, 3, 4. So we have B, open B, 3, 4. First finger, 1st fret on that string. C, 2, 3, 4. Nice. And then take your 3rd finger, this one here, and it's going to continue from where your first finger left off. So we have first finger on that middle string, first finger, 1st fret. B, 2, or sorry, C, 2, 3, 4. Then see my 3rd finger reaching. So it's going to go 3rd finger to that next. And we're going to skip over to the 2nd fret, and we're going to go to the 3rd fret. So first finger, 1st fret, 3rd finger, 3rd fret. Got it? So we have D, 2, 3, 4. So let's go back. Let's go all the way back to where we started. Bottom string, play it open. We have G, 2, 3, 4. Now first finger, 2nd fret, A, 2, 3, 4. And now open string, B, 2, 3, 4. 1st fret, 1st finger on that string. C, 2, 3, 4. And now we go 3rd finger, 3rd fret, same string. And we have D, 2, 3, 4. And now we go to open E. That's our next string up, the highest string on the instrument. E, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to go second finger, second fret. This is called F sharp. We don't need to know about the sharps or anything yet. You can just know it as F for now, but know that it's going to be your second finger, second fret on the highest string. So F sharp, 2, 3, 4, and that's going to lead us to our last note in this pattern. I know it's long. Second finger goes to third finger, third fret. So we have second finger, second fret, third finger, third fret, right? They line up pretty easily. And that's our last note. G, 2, 3, 4. And now, see if you can play that last note and the bottom note of your instrument. The lowest string on your guitar. They're the same note, right? One's higher, definitely. But they are the exact same note. Try it again. G, G. Nice. So remember when we talked about our musical ABCs where we go A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, right? We don't go on to H. After we get to G, we go back to A. But this is a G major scale, so we're going from one G all the way up. So G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, to the next G. Both the same note, one's higher than the other though. So let's try this whole thing together. And if you feel like you're just a little bit lost, take it back some. And try just the first half of this video to really get a feel for that scale again. But for now, I'm just going to take it in time, and I'm going to keep going after each 4 notes. I'll move to the next note. And I'll try and voice the finger number and the fret number you'll play it on, okay? I'll try my best, but we're going to start from G, our lowest note on the instrument, your lowest string, open G, and we're going to get all the way to our third finger G on E, on our highest string. Right? So we're going to go, this is a fast version, this is what it's going to look like. We'll go. You see that? That's our major scale. We're going to do 4 notes for every letter, right? Or 4 strums for every letter. So G. So G, 2, 3, 4. Next note is A, 2, second fret, 3, 4, and then open B, 2, 3, 4, and then first finger, first fret, C, 2, 3, 4, and then third finger, third fret, D, 2, 3, 4. Now open E, the highest string, E, 2, 3, 4. Now second finger, second fret on that highest string, F sharp, F sharp, F, F, and then third finger G, third finger, third fret for G. G, 2, 3, 4. Nice. Let's try going back down. So we're at G, 2, 3, 4, down to second finger, F sharp, 2, 3, 4, and then open E, 2, 3, 4, and then down to third finger on the middle string, 2, 3, 4, and then first finger C, 2, 3, 4, and then open B, that's your middle string, 2, 3, 4, and second finger on our lowest string for A, 2, 3, 4, and then open lowest string G, 2, 3, 4. Awesome. Okay, so please try that as many times as you feel like is necessary for it to flow really nice, right? From one note into the next. But take it real slow on your own too, if that helps. And we'll work more on that pattern later, okay? But now I want to move to our chords. So we have our chord sheet out. Right now, we're going to work on C and G. Sound good? C and G. They're pretty simple because C has our first finger on our first fret in the middle string of the first fret, first finger. And that's that note. And then if you play them all together, it sounds a little muddy on the bass because it's so low and I'm trying to play it like a guitar. But let's talk about, well, we'll move into strumming a little bit with my ukulele in a sec, but this is the hand shape for C, right? We have our first finger in the middle string on that first fret, right? And just play those 3 notes separately to make sure that each note is speaking clearly. So start with that lowest note, G, very good. And then go to the next note, C, that's your first finger. And then open E, so we have, right? And now we're gonna move to G. Our next chord, G, is we take our third finger, 1, 2, 3, and we put it on our third fret, 1, 2, 3. See that? On the highest string, which is the thinnest one on your guitar. And that's where your third finger is going to go, and the rest of the other strings are open because it has a little circle above them, right? So we have G, B, and then this highest note is G. So let's make sure each note is speaking clearly, right? Play that lowest note. Should sound pretty clearly, no fingers on it. And then the next note is open as well, B. And then on our highest string, now we're gonna have our third finger for G. So those 3 notes are G, and then B, and then E, G. So, right? So that's that hand shape. Third finger, highest string, third fret. Now we're gonna try E minor. This should be a pretty simple one on your chord sheet. Maybe you can see why. Look at E minor and think to yourself, this chord must be pretty easy, right? Look, we're not even using our left hand. So as long as your guitar is in tune, then it should sound real nice. So E minor here is just all open strings. No left hand. Hear it? Awesome. Okay, so now we've worked on C chord, our G chord, and E minor. And I want to throw one more in there. Look at the minor chords at that second row there, and go to the first one. It's A minor. Now, it may be a little blurry on your sheet, but I want you to get used to playing A minor with your second or third finger and your 1. You can choose between 2 or 3, whatever's comfortable for these notes. But let's build the chord from the bottom. So on our lowest string, we're going to put our second finger, or your third, whatever's comfortable, on the second fret, the bottom string. So second fret, bottom string. And make sure that note is sounding very clearly. Very good. And then you're going to take your first finger. So if you're playing this with your third finger, still works, right? Gives you a little bit more room. But if you're playing it with your second finger and you have room for that, perfectly fine. Take your first finger, put it on the first fret of the middle string. And if you have trouble, take your guitar off your neck and hold it against your chord sheet and be like, now I see where my fingers go. And then pull it back. And it might be a little bit easier to see where they're at. Another helpful tip, if you're looking for your fingers and you can't quite see where they are on the fingerboard, or turn your guitar this way so that you can see every fret, right? And that might make it a little easier. So A minor here is going to look like this. We have 2 on our lowest string. This is your lowest string. And then 1 on your first fret on the middle string. And that's A minor, so nice. Okay, so now I'm gonna switch to my ukulele really quick. Whoa, ukulele, it just turned into one. Amazing. That's perfectly convenient. Let's work on our strumming. Okay, so this ukulele is not going to match up to your Loog guitar at all with the left hand, okay? So don't pay attention to what my left hand is doing. We're just working on our right hand. You follow your chord chart, though, on your Loog guitar chord chart, and we're going to work on some of those chords we worked on together, okay? So it's just hard to play a chord on a bass and have it really be heard, so I think the ukulele might be an easier sound for you to be able to pick up when you're listening to this while you're playing your lesson here. So let's start with, what's an easy one? Can you do G for me? So we have third finger, right, on the third fret of our highest string on the guitar. So for you, it'll look something like that. But for me, it's something different. So this is G. You hear it? All right, so you're gonna try and strum along with me, and we're just gonna keep it super simple, right? So we're gonna go one strum for every beat. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, G, G, and G, 2, 3, 4. Nice. And so if you have your pick, now's a good time to pull that out. But it's really important to learn how to use your fingers, the pads of your fingers to strum, as well as using a pick to get that different sound, the different feel, right? So when you're using a pick, you're gonna hold it between your thumb and your pointer finger here, and just kind of wiggle your wrist to make that sound. If we're playing with the pads of our fingers, we're going for a lighter sound, and you're just gonna use this part of your finger and this part of your finger. And watch, you're gonna imagine you've just eaten a whole bag of Doritos or Cheetos or Fritos, even any kind of dusty chip snack that you like. Imagine it. Are you picturing it? Okay, now don't actually eat these before playing your instrument without washing your hand, okay? But imagine you've eaten a bag of Cheetos and you have a ton of dust on your fingers, right? Tasty, maybe, but not very sanitary for our instruments, right? So we're gonna wipe it off on our shirt. Go, right? That's the feeling of when we're finger strumming an instrument. We take the skin on our, or like the what's it called? The pad of our thumb and the pad of our pointer finger, and we just brush against the string like we're wiping off some Cheeto dust, right? So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3. Nice. Now we're gonna add some chords. So let's go to that G chord again, and we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can use a pick or your fingers for this exercise. I recommend trying both and rewinding it and seeing what you like best. But let's start with G. Whenever you're ready, we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, and G, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3. Awesome. Now we're going to change chords. Let's go to C. For you, you're going to take your first finger, 1, and put it on the first fret of your middle string, the middle one, right? So first finger, first fret, middle string. For my ukulele, it's going to look a little different. Okay, ready? Have you found that chord? This is C. We're going to do the same pattern. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, and... So the fourth beat, we're going to do 2 strums, 2 quick strums. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and... and you can do that with your pick or your fingers. And we're going to try C now. 1, 2, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 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 4, and... Nice, very good. So keep repeating that in your video. Just loop it if you need to really get a feel for that strumming pattern. And if you want to make up your own strumming pattern, go for it. Put it on top of what I'm doing. I think it would sound great as long as you're staying on the same chord. All right, so now we're going to move to A minor. Okay, so A minor, nothing scary. We worked on it a minute ago, right? We have second or third finger on the second fret of your lowest string. Then first finger on the first fret of your middle string. So it looks something like that, right? 2 or 3, and then 1. For me, it's gonna look a little different, so don't look at my hand. There we go. Okay, we're just gonna look at the strumming pattern here. So A minor, once you found that chord and each note is speaking right, nothing's buzzing, let's strum it. So 3, same pattern. A minor, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3. Nice. And now we're going to do E minor, which is all open strings. Very easy. For me, it's a little different. E minor, all open strings. 3, 4. E minor, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3. Nice. Now we're going to put it all together. So what if we did, let's pick an order here between those 4 chords we worked on. What if we started at C, and then what if we went to A minor, and then from there we went to G, and then E minor. So we'll start with C, we'll play it 4 times with that strumming pattern. Then we'll move to A minor 4 times, then we'll move to G 4 times, and E minor 4 times. Awesome. So right from the beginning we have C, first finger, first fret, middle string. It's going to look a little different for me. You already know that, right? So 3, 4, C, C, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3. And now switch to A minor. So your second finger is just going to add itself to that second fret on the lowest string. And we go A minor, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and nice. And now we're going to go to G. So find G, third finger, third fret, top string, 3, 4, and G, 2, 3, 4, and G, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and then E minor, all open strings. 3, 4. Excellent. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's lesson, and that you've learned something out of it. And I hope you and your family have a great, happy 4th of July. And I'll see you next week. Thanks again.